Mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? It's me, Black Witch S. I'm the fairest of them all right now. Thank you for joining me. Today I will be talking about beauty and beauty magic because I've had a client who had a few questions and therefore I thought I would answer them with a video and have a general discussion about beauty magic because I feel like there's a few misconceptions when it comes to beauty and the use of beauty spells. So, of course, you've seen me using the good old black mirror in the start of this video, and this is really popular, especially in more white magic spells or the Wiccan style spells. You'll see popular authors such as Cunningham and even Gerald Gardner talking about the use of black mirrors when it comes to doing image projection style magic or spells. And does this work? Well, this really goes into a lot of psychology about your self-worth. How do you see yourself? And are you able to say positive affirmations to yourself in a mirror? That in itself is really difficult because for many of us, when we look into the mirror, we see only the things that we don't like. And therefore, you're focusing on what you don't like, and then you'll see more of it in the world. So, I digress. Let's go back into different forms of beauty magic and how you can utilize beauty magic in your everyday life. So, let's go into a typical incantation for a magic mirror. Now, Scott Cunningham, in his Book of Shadows here, he has a really popular spell that incantation. Clear as crystal, clear as air, make my form be fine and fair. And then he suggested put the mirror on the south wall of the home, and every morning and evening stand before it and gaze into the reflection, concentrating on improving your appearance, so shall it be. This is really about positive affirmation. Placing a mirror on the wall, and of course you'll consecrate that mirror, typically because it's, most of them will say put it in a river or some sort of water or something to stream to cleanse it. I prefer, of course, either putting any type of mirror or stone, consecration under air, under incense, and then of course I prefer to put it under the full moon, under the rays of the full moon, and say some positive affirmation over the object. So it is an object with a purpose, and that purpose is to help you in your beauty magic in this case. But Cunningham and so forth will suggest to put it into a cold running stream or something like that, and then putting it on the south wall. To me, where you're putting this really doesn't matter what wall you're putting that on. I personally have this on my altar, and when I look into it, I don't actually do a lot of beauty work for myself because I understand the psychology behind beauty work. But if I look into the mirror, I don't think of a negative thought. So whether I've got makeup on or brushed my hair, I have black or blonde or red hair, what I'm thinking of is just my connection. I'm a powerful goddess, and I have every right to ask for whatever I want, and so be it. I have no doubt in my mind that I don't deserve whatever I ask for, because that's the way you have to be if you really want things to materialize for you. You have to be confident. So when you're doing beauty spells, generally it's because you're not feeling confident in a particular area of your life. Right? So when we're looking at image projection style spells, that really comes down into two areas. It's really creating a temporary style, glamour style spell, a temporary spell, or it's really working with what you have already. What this means is that if you're wanting to, for example, change hair texture, change hair color, change eye color, change facial shapes, change your age, change anything else that you don't like about yourself, this isn't going to work. So the idea of glamour magic, or being a witch and being a woman or a man and being beautiful and doing the best you can to maintain yourself, to do this glamour style spell or project a really positive image onto the target or so forth, you have to understand that it is temporary, or you have to work with what you have to really make this happen. So if I wanted dark brown eyes, I can't do anything, a spell, to create dark brown eyes. My eyes are green. They will always be green. I can put contact lenses in to make them brown or blue, but I was born with green eyes. So if I didn't want to have green eyes, I would have to first think about why I don't want to have green eyes. What about having green eyes for me is making me feel unattractive? Is it a connection to a birth parent, a connection to a country, a land, a people? And what am I not taking ownership of? You know, I have to take ownership and love my heritage. So what is beauty? Well, beauty is actually your astral projection that is shining through. What you see in someone's eyes can make you feel like, wow, they're such a beautiful person. They're so engaged. They're so interesting. They're so full of life. Now, when you're describing someone like that, that's not necessarily a beautiful person. I can mention, but I won't, many celebrities that really, they're not beautiful, well, what someone would typically, or the media would call a beautiful person, but their soul and their passion when they're singing their music, it's so infectious. You can't help but see the beauty of that person. And that is really what you're aspiring to do in any type of beauty spell. You're allowing someone else to capture that glimpse into your astral soul, to see that beautiful reflection, that light that's shining with you, and it's coming out your eyes, and it's just in every movement that you make. It's your passion, it's your life. So you can be a beautiful, beautiful person, but be as shallow as shit and not project a positive light in your aura, and you'll just be dismissed as quickly as every other beautiful flower, because there's lots of beautiful flowers out there, but unless that aura light is shining bright, well, you know, when someone is really beautiful, you can see the light in their soul. That is what you're looking. So let's get into a few tips on how you can create this light. So if we're doing traditional witchcraft, people ask, what day of the week should I be doing beauty type spells? Well, beauty type spells, I suppose, are really best done on a Friday, because we're talking about love and friendship style of magic. So that's influenced by the planet of Venus. Venus energy needs to be at its peak so it can reflect down upon you and maximize whatever spell that you're really doing. And it's the same in terms of beauty oils, beauty herbs, and so on and so forth, beauty incense. You're really wanting something that is appeasing to you, makes you feel good. That's what beauty about. When you're looking in that magic mirror and you're saying those incantations or those positive words, and it's smelling good, and actually it doesn't matter how you look when you look in that mirror, you've got to see the light of your soul. So when you can see the light of your soul, then other people will be able to see that light as well. So making sure that environment's beautiful for you. If you need that, then make sure that's all set up. And then look in that mirror and really say those words and love it and mean it, whether you're 18 or you're 80. But people fall in love in between the eyes. And they fall in lust in between the legs. So before I go on to sharing a few spells that you could use or tricks you could use for beauty work, I'm just going to address some of the questions specifically for the client who wanted help with various types of beauty spells. And point one was she wanted to have fluency in English and have an American accent. Now, once again, this is just going to be a learned skill. You're not going to be able to cast any spell or have any demon help you to achieve that without you setting a project task, if you like, or a task for you to actually begin to learn English fluently and to actually have an American accent. So my first tip for you, if you want to work with the demons, is that Fornius would be a demon that you could use if you wanted to learn a different language. And to call to Fornius, you would set up an altar. You might have a sigil there. I would probably do it at nighttime. And you would actually request, you would ask to work with this demon, and then you would maybe call out his end, and you would put a petition out there to really allow him to help you learn these languages with fluency and ease. Something like that. And so it would be an incantation or a petition that you say to this demon to really help you with that language. To have a photogenic memory was another question, and to have a personality like the colleague, and I won't mention her name, and you said she is bold, confident, aggressive when it comes to work, as always, something to say to keep the conversation going on. This is a personality type. A personality type is something that you were born with. And so this lady that you mentioned, she might be an extrovert. So through a glamorization spell or a glamoury spell, you could have a spell cast on you or do a spell on yourself to help you have a temporary confidence boost. So when you walk into a meeting or you walk into a job, you have personally a boost of confidence, and where you can express yourself with fluency and ease, and you can have people look at you temporarily as someone that they really need to pay attention to, that type of thing. But in terms of personality, no spell will change your personality. To have a photogenic memory, this is once again a learned skill, but you can call to, for example, I call to Astaroth when I want wisdom, especially as a female, and I'm living in the Americas now. Astaroth is a goddess of the Western regions, and so I work with Astaroth all the time to improve my knowledge, to give me wisdom, to share with me some knowledge in situations that I come into, or provide a path for me to be able to acquire that knowledge. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that I'm going to have a little demon push a button on my head and it's instantly going to upload. It takes my own dedication for that demon to be able to work with me. A love spell to attract a specific person. This isn't beauty spells, and you've said it's a love spell. So yes, a love spell to attract a different specific person. Yes, that's exactly what you can do. But a lot of time, this is just a temporary situation. And when you're attracting a specific person, you'll notice that it will last most of the time just for a short period of time. You've asked about spells that are actually going to uplift skin and so forth. I'm telling you now, spell casting doesn't work for that sort of thing. What does work is going to a surgeon and say, hey, I need a change. If I could do that with spell casting, I'd be charging as much as a surgeon, because you wouldn't have to go through surgery and doctors. But the reason why I don't is because I can't, and nor can anybody else. Aging is a natural part of the life process and something that we all have to go through. So there's no spell that's going to reverse the aging process. So let's talk about spell casting. You can go into any old book of shadows such as Cunningham's. I love Cunningham's, and I actually love Gardner's work as well. And in these books you'll find spells that are going to typically use a candle. You'll probably use some oil such as rosemary oil or something. You might use rose petals. You're going to create a lovely little assortment of petals and candles and so forth, and say a lovely little positive incantation. And it feels quite pretty and it feels good. And you might even call out to, for example, Aphrodite or Adonis or Hathor or something, some goddess of beauty, some god of beauty or whatever. If you're using the African or conjure work or hoodoo or voodoo, you could call out to the ocean, because the ocean is the goddess of beauty. So when it comes to the spells that we do at Black Witch Coven, we're working in a different technique, if you like. Firstly, we use the Kabbalah. Now, I'm good at the Kabbalah, but I have another Coven member that is the best at the Kabbalah, to correct the feelings, the emotions, and the energy that's surrounding you, that's giving you these negative feelings, these negative beliefs about yourself. And so when you're going in there and you're working with the tree of life around your energy levels, and we're shifting those energy levels, this is really going to start to manifest with your own belief system on this plane. So that's what we're doing with Kabbalah style beauty spells. Now, the type of spells I'll do, and I'll do more by myself, I would set up my altar, and on that altar I would use white candles, and one of those candles I would actually visualize myself as one of those candles, and I would be visualizing white energy all around me. So I'd be clearing out all the darkness behind the candle. I'd be seeing it just as a white energy. And so this all goes into the skill of visualization. Now, if you need to, do it on the astral plane. If you're good at astral work, do this on the astral plane in your own astral temples. But otherwise, what you do is you'll set up your altar, and you could even have your mirror there, and you're really visualizing the energy around you changing, visualizing it shifting. You could do this in various ways. Now, in my own book of shadows, my type of beauty spell, or what I do for people, is that I set up 3 candles in an arc formation. Then the middle candle is what is representing your spiritual being. The arc is what is wrapping around you. It's a protection around you. So whether it's just, if it's only 1 or 2 things you feel like you need to work on, just have 1 or 2 extra candles. Some people have a whole ring of candles around that one middle candle. And as you visualize and focus into that white candle, you're really projecting onto that candle all that you wish that you would have. You've got to see yourself as the end result. So if you see yourself losing 50 pounds, and because maybe that's what you need to do, you need to see that skinny you. If you can't visualize you as a skinny person, you'll never be that skinny person. You have to actually see yourself, and then you've got to feel what it would be like to be 50 pounds lighter. You've got to see it and feel it. What emotions do you feel? Do you feel happier? Do you feel like, when you walk in the park, you can actually put a smile on your face? You don't feel embarrassed. Perhaps you're wearing the clothes you want to wear, that you're showing a bit of your flesh, the sun's on the flesh. It feels totally awesome. So this is really getting you in a great state of mind when you're actually visualizing this into the candle. You're projecting it out there so hard that it becomes a reality. And that is the truth behind black magic spell casting for beauty spells. It's really a true reflection of your internal intention into the mundane world. So you've got to see it there. For some of us, if we really have trouble on this plane focusing, you've got to go into the astral world and do your work in the astral world. But that being said and done, when you can really do that, what will happen is that your soul, your aura, will just be completely fulfilled. And when you're thinking about yourself, no matter what your age, or no matter what you look like, what color of skin you've got, no matter what, you're going to project this confidence. And the confidence is the beauty. So for many of you, this is going to be really disappointing because it's not a special little spell with glitter and sparkles and so forth. It's not tuning into a specific demon or doing a pact with a demon to be beautiful. But sure, you can if you want. You can do demonic pacts with a lot of the demons and ask for beauty, but you still have to do that work. And the demon then will help you clear those negative thoughts. The same as any of the deity I mentioned before. They will help you with your desire to reach your goal. They're not just going to create an instant Hollywood magic spell on you and you'll be a completely different person. So I hope this has answered my clients' questions on this. And I hope this has given you guys out there some idea what you really need to do to be able to create that image or project that image of beauty that many of us want. And yeah, I hope you like my blonde hair for this video. I won't be blonde for long, but I'm really enjoying a change. And to do my own glamorization or my own glamoury style magic, I've got to change as well. That's just the way it is. So I hope this has helped you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.